This is the High School Crossfire. Welcome back.
My name is Kabanekera Grace, the second, a farmer, and resolved. Pano, today, the negative side agrees with all our definitions. Now, one of our definitions says that implementation is bringing something up when you have already studied it and cleared and know the real benefits of this thing. So we are bringing up, and they also agreed with the drugs, of which we said the drug definition of our things is actually the narcotic and psychotic substances that are used for medical help. So they agree with all of that, and we told them that legal decriminalizing is making something legal according to the law. We are making this legal according to the law. So it is going to be made legal after a study, and we are implementing something that is helpful to the medical sector. I don't know why they are trying to create a straw man in our case today, but if they try to bring up addiction, yes, we are telling you that we are reducing the toxins in these substances as the medical sector, because we are the Ministry of Health, working hand in hand with the NDA, and of which these are the sectors that are actually these are organizations that are very trusted, and these are organizations in the country that are highly believed in. We told you that our case study, we are looking at a case study of India, which has already legalized the use of this in the medical sector, and it is the leading country in medical purposes. So we are looking at a country that has implemented this, and this is actually very helpful. Now they said that it's going to divert funds from other sources of income to this, but who wouldn't want to boost their health sector within their country? We're looking at a healthy population. We're looking at a population that is going to be productive, because when this population is productive, when these people are cured, when the levels of some diseases are reduced, that means we're going to look at a healthy population. That means economic growth, because people are going to be working and people are able to do anything. Now, Pano, back to our case. We told you we are aware of the disadvantages of the drugs, which is why we cannot legalize for the whole country, but we are legalizing only for the medical sector, because now we are decriminalizing the drug possessions for only the medical sector, because this is the sector that is actually approved in all the healthy statuses of the country. Now, we are licensing only the pharmaceutical firms, of which these ones are going to be carefully monitored by the NDA, hand in hand with the Ministry of Health. We are licensing those people, and they are going to be very well monitored. In case you are caught out of this sector, in case you are caught by any authority out of this sector selling or using these drugs in a wrong way, you are going to be penalized. You're going to pay that hefty fine like it has been. You are going to be imprisoned because it's not allowed. We as a country are also trying to limit the drug abuse, which is why we cannot legalize for everyone, but specifically legalize for the impotency. We are utilizing the advantages of the drug, because according to the National Institute of Health, it reduces the level of disease infections like hepatitis B, HIV, stroke, AIDS, and also cancer. It reduces overdose. We are processing. This is going to be a laboratory process whereby you're going to remove this effective part. We are removing it, but then to a negligible part, so that the other part is actually left for treatment. Now, we're also telling you we're enhancing the safety and health of our people. We are telling you, according to HUA 2022 periodical journals, February, we see that the cyclamine treats intestinal problems, and this thing actually has a drug which is called morphine. We also see that the sedative hypnotic is used to induce euthanasia. And this actually helps. It contains methadone, which is also a drug. Now we are using these psychotic and narcotic drugs that are helpful in the medical sector. Now, Pano, we all believe that our country survives on a healthy population, and if we want a healthy population, it is going to be under the Ministry of Health and the National Drug Authority. We trust this very much, and we believe we are taking this case home. Thank you so much.
It's funny how you want to create a problem and solve it at the same time. The same person. Pano, dear ladies and gentlemen, my name is Meridian Bosco from Namilyango College. I'm the second negative in today's debate. Now, Pano, Team Affirmative brings to us a case that leaves us with very many questions that we want them to answer. First and foremost, we said that they're not giving us examples of the narcotics, but they claim that they're going to actually decriminalize these narcotics, but they're not giving us examples. For us, we shall help you cite examples. We have marijuana, we have cat, and then we also have, sometimes it's called ganja, sometimes cat can be called maironji. Now, these things have side effects. Now, when we agree with their definitions, they thought we had agreed with their case, but for us, we are saying what? We agree with the definition that the drug is made for medical purposes, but we don't agree with the decriminalization of the drug possession in the medical sector. Why? Their parameters are Uganda. One, can they regulate the usage of these drugs in the medical sector? How are they going to identify these people? How are they going to monitor these people? They tell us they are going to monitor, but you are going to monitor how? How are you going to monitor this? Now, they also tell us that they are going to ignore that the toxins are negligible. Negligible means to ignore, since it's in small amounts. Now, what happens when it accumulates and gets to larger quantities? Is it still negligible? No, they don't tackle that. They don't give us a status quo and tell us the reason as to why there is a need to decriminalize drug possession. Because, let me come to you, they need to decriminalize drug possession because they told us that diseases like hepatitis B and HIV, this can be treated using these narcotics. Now we are saying, and this disease is being treated even without the decriminalization of the drug possession. They don't answer that. So we also want to know that, yes, granted.
Your first negator mentioned that there are other alternatives to these narcotics. Could you please give us some examples?
I was coming to the examples. We have acetaminophen, which is also called ibuprofen. This is commonly known to you. It treats pain relief. And then we also have anti-nausea medications such as Zofran that can be used as substitutions for marijuana. And this is what we are saying. These are still being treated even with the drug possession being decriminalized. So we can still have the country run, even the medical sector run, without the decriminalization of drug possession. This is what we are saying, team negative. Now, they also don't tell us, we also want to ask them that they have not given us the harm reduction strategies. This is what? This is another problem. Now, the harm reduction strategies involve a lot of things. We have catering for these people that are actually suffering from the what? From the effects of the drugs. Now, what does this mean? That after allowing the possession of drugs by everyone or in the medical sector, now they expect that people will actually get what? People will actually get affected. Now, after people have gotten affected, then they will come to help these people or to care for these people simply because they have gotten affected from what they actually decriminalized. Now, this is creating a problem so that you can solve it. It is another way of wasting funds, and this is what we call the diversion of funds. Furthermore, when we looked at this, we said that it emphasizes addiction. Now, what happens when it emphasizes addiction? That a lot of people, millions of people will get interested since the prices will reduce after it has been decriminalized. And we also want to know, by the way, who gives out these drugs in the medical sector and who has been allowed to possess these drugs in the medical sector. And we also said it might also push forward for legalization. And we are saying that for us, in ours, where we are saying we are going to re-energize existing drug law enforcement institutions, it has worked in Pakistan. They re-energize the existing drug law enforcement, such as the police. We told you are going to give them a lot of powers where they can search you as long as you're suspicious, and then realize that we can actually access these drug laws in any time anyway. Now, we have a lot of questions, such as also decriminalization of those used for medical purposes. In what terms? What is the extent? What is the degree to which it is not harmful that you're talking about? Because for us, as far as we're concerned, there's a degree to which that concentration is actually harmful, and you cannot tell us that it is negligible. So prove to us that it's not negligible. We have talked about the diversion of funds. Then we are talking about the leads to an increased supply of drugs. Now, this is very clear that now, since they don't have any way or a mechanism in which they're going to control this, we are going to have an increased supply of drugs from the medical sector. Thank you.
This is the High School Crossfire. We'll be back in a minute.